Hey all, Matt with Bobcat Bonsai here. Today we're going to work on turning a Ficus Benjamina into a Mame. Obviously it's still super young, so it's going to be growing in this pot for a little while until we can consider it a Mame, but let's get to it. Okay, so here's our little Mame pot that we made in another video, which I will link to at the end. And here's our little Ficus Benjamina. So let's get it out of here. The roots are not super well developed outside here. I think they're all trapped inside this little piece right here. For now, I'm just going to use my little bamboo poker here and see what I can get to. Okay, so it's got some nice little roots. Let's see if I can somehow successfully get inside this. I'm going to try to remove this without taking the roots with it, because in order to work on turning this into a Mame, I kind of need to get it to sit a little bit lower. So I do anticipate losing some of these roots along the way, and that's okay. I'll just limit my pruning to make it work for what I have to work with inside here. Basically what I mean is we'll look at this thing once we get this off and see how many roots we lost. And then from there determine how much we can trim out. But for the most part, it looks like they're all pulling through here pretty good, except for some of the much thinner ones. Okay, so we lost a little bit, but not too much here. So I'm happy with that. It seems that we do have a pretty nice radial root pattern. There's some that I believe I'm going to end up trimming off because they're growing straight down. So we are going to be changing up the soil completely, so let me rinse this off in my little bucket here. Alright, so I got it rinsed, so now we're just going to break up some more of the bigger stuff here. Rinse it again. Okay, so let's take a look at these roots here. So I think I'm only going to take off one, and it's going to be this main one running right across the bottom there. And the rest of these I should be able to just spread out fairly well. and leave us with a nice radial look here. Alright, so first things first, let's run some wire up through the bottom. The screen's already in, I just want to get the wire in now for the purpose of getting the tree wired up. Alright, so I have the tree in here and wired up now. Well, not the tree, I have the wire in here and wired up. So now I have, well, let's clean off the workspace first. As you can see, I changed up my location a little bit for the time being to try to tuck into some shade. So that's why I didn't just brush it onto the ground. Now this little bit here, that'll just brush onto the ground. Okay, so we have some bonsai soil here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Fox Farm soil and get this all mixed around. Just to give it a little bit of like organic mix with it. Now Fox Farm does have some thicker chunks in it, so I am going to end up having to pull some of that back out. Alright, so let's get a little bit in here. Man, was I not expecting how little soil I was going to need. Then we'll get this little guy set. Bring in the wire. Now that's all the further I anticipate on taking this diameter wire. That's a little bit thicker. It's now down here at the base. I'm gonna poke through the gap in that wire. Come back around here. And then begin to wire up this little branch. All right, cut that one. And that will be it for that little guy there. Okay, so now we're going to come from down here. Bring it around. And then once I'm done wiring this up, you'll see what I'm going for a little bit more. Okay. So now on this one, I'm going to come from down here, loop it around. And then bring this other one this way, bring it around, And I'm going to leave that lower branch, skip up, and hit this higher branch a little bit here. So now we'll nip this one and this one. Alright, so now we're going to get some more of the soil in here. Okay, so this is going to be our front view. Right. I'm stuck now, guys. I thought I had it in mind when I was looking at this earlier, but now I'm kind of stuck. Okay, so we want to go with a windswept, so I'm going to take this little guy and bring it back this way. Then I'm going to take this little guy, bring it down. I'm going to take this in, and I'm going to bring it right back out again and say, cut your wire too short. So I'll bring it right back out. So we're going to bring this one down a little bit further and then back up. Then this one I want to bring down. We're going to twist it. Try and take a little bit more bend back that way, and then a sharper bend up at the top here. So I may not keep all of it, but that is my overall design here. Looking at it from the front view, you can see that it's curved out and everything's sweeping back this way. So let's rotate it a little bit. So right now I'm not really planning on doing any pruning on the branches. I'm gonna just let it grow for the time being. As far as the height requirements go for now, since it's nowhere near the age yet, I'm okay with it. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water here. And then I'm going to let it rest for a minute. And then I'm going to remember once again, I forgot to make sure everything was down between the roots. So now I'm going to work on pushing everything. Got to make sure there's no air gaps in the roots, especially in a super tiny pot like this. Let me scoop off some of this bigger stuff again. And we're just going to add a little bit more here. Alright, so a little bit more water. As you can see, it does not take much to get this thing really just filled up. And then I'm just going to pick out some of these little bigger pieces. Little bigger. Some of the bigger pieces I took out of there now. Alright. So, that is it. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey of repotting and starting my Mame Ficus Benjamina. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, you can subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time I release a video, hit the bell notification. Thank you.